Good afternoon, everybody. The very recently held AI Impact Summit brought together global leaders, technologists, and policymakers to grapple with one central question: not whether AI will transform industries, that debate is over, but how fast, how deep, and who gets left behind. For BFSI, that question is not abstract. It is arriving at the front door right now. You cannot build a competitive, sustainable India without a financial system that can carry the weight of that ambition. Banks that can lend to next generation of entrepreneurs, mutual funds that can mobilize the savings of a rising middle class, housing finance that can put a roof over the head of the first-time homeowner in remote areas, cards and consumer credit that can unlock spending power responsibly. Every institution represented on this stage today is a piece of that puzzle. Over the next 1 hour, we are going to explore what resilience actually means in the sector under simultaneous pressure from regulators, technology, competition, and customer expectations that have never been higher. So let's begin. My first question is to Mr. Ankur. Mr. Ankur, how do you think are banks and financial institutions redesigning their digital infrastructure to support scalability, resilience, and regulatory compliance?
Okay, good afternoon, Dr. Bhatia. And I think you also took the initial letter to start the conversation, because in my school days or college days, I used to be in top 3, whether it's Viva or anything. So I think you picked A and you started with me. So, to answer your question, before that, I would like to quote a interview which was taken with Jeff. So he was asked a couple of years back that, what is that one area where you would like to invest in the business? And his answer was very clear: digital infrastructure. Because he was worried about 2 things. Number one, the consumer behavior, whosoever is coming on Amazon, how that consumer behavior is playing, where he's dropping off, what he's buying, what are his or her likings or dislikings. That's the first thing which he wanted to understand. And second, of course, the interface through which the transaction was done. So if Jeff long back can have that view, and we have seen Amazon investing a lot of money into digital infrastructure, with that I'll try and correlate what happened to my industry in last 20 years. Now I'll try to answer that question in all these 3 parameters: scalability, resilience, and of course regulatory framework. When you talk about scalability, when I started my career, when we used to go on sales meeting, we used to be paper heavy. We used to carry a folder जिसमें आप fact sheets, forms, KYC forms, so on and so forth. You used to carry that, and the meeting used to be unplanned in nature because you are not aware of the person likings or dislikings. Okay, and they used to be push in nature. Sir, हमारा product ले लो आप, because this is what we are here to sell. Today, when I'm going out for a meeting, I am just having my iPad with a dashboard, which gives me a clear picture what is the behavior pattern of that person. I have integrated all the reports which are present in the market, and that tells me what all things I need to discuss with that person, what all things I don't need to discuss with that person. So what happens with that is that, first of all, your conversation is impactful. You know what you are talking. Your sales skills are better. Second, you can understand his thought process, whether he will invest in that asset class or not. So that's the first thing from sales perspective, that how the scalability has taken place. Apart from sales function, if you look at other functions also, for example, in fund management, lot of AMCs, and in fact at UTI also we are trying to incorporate some quant models at the back end, wherein we are trying to enhance the returns for our investors. If I go back to my era, the first supercomputer, when it was launched by IBM, it defeated Kasparov. I know this name rings bell to people sitting here, not to you guys. So that time there was a lot of noise, man has got defeated by a machine. But today it's about man with machine. How can you improvise things combining both the elements? So at fund management level, if I talk about scalability, long back there used to be 3 kind of schemes in the market: debt, equity, and hybrid. Today you have smart beta funds, you have alternative funds, you have ETFs in the market, and all that has happened because of the digital revolution or digital infrastructure which has been incorporated in the organizations. So that's on the fund management side. If I talk about other functions like operations or probably marketing, they have also been able to get a lot of insights from digital infrastructure. For example, today if you go and surf about UTI mutual fund, so I'll get the information that, Dr. Bhatia has checked about this fund. And then I'll start sending her personalized communication that your liking was this asset class, this is where we are placed, this is how we have done. Or maybe if, let's say, you were trying to do some transaction and you drop off at a payment page, so I'll start sending those links to you. So I can personalize the communication basis your drop-off point. That all has happened because of digital infrastructure which we have incorporated in last 10, 15 years throughout the ecosystem. So that's about scalability. Now, if I talk about resilience, I think we have a lot of fintechs coming into this industry, and today you have a lot of applications through which you can easily transact. Again, going back 10-15 years, वो फॉर्म भरना पड़ता था, फोटो लगानी पड़ती थी KYC के लिए, so on and so forth. Today you only have to open an application, do your Aadhaar based KYC, link your bank account, and you can invest wherever you want just by a few clicks of the button. So that's the kind of resilience which this industry has shown over a period of time and evolve throughout. In terms of regulatory requirements, I think as a fund house or as an industry, we have been highly regulated by SEBI. And there are daily, weekly, monthly, semi-annual, annual reports which we have to submit to the regulator. Earlier, a lot of manpowers used to get invested to prepare those reports and send it to them. But today, again, as I said, because of digital infrastructure which is there, the legal and compliance team can generate those reports within few minutes and, kind of send it to the regulator. On the cost side also, since these NAVs have daily expense which is excluded from them. So whenever you have the NAV of these funds declared in the evening, you have daily expense which is reduced from it. So earlier, that calculation used to be manual in nature. Today, with this digital infrastructure, that's in minutes you can do that. Yeah. So all those efficiencies have come over time because we have invested heavily on the digital side, and probably that's what I would submit as an answer to your question.
Thanks, Mr. Ankur. That was very insightful. Now, just extending that question to Ms. Kriti, how do you think an agile and digital-first operating models enable BFSI institutions to respond effectively to market volatility, customer expectation, and fintech disruption?
Thank you, Dr. Ruby, and thank you everyone for being so patient across all the sessions. During the tea break, I actually had a chat with a couple of students and said that, how much do you want to listen? I'll speak only that much. Being in corporate for over 20 years, you can speak as much. So yeah, coming back to agility and digital first models, and from an agility perspective, typically the textbook definition for agility is wherein you're going the sprint methodology. So wherein you divide the task into multiple sprints and then you try and do parallel processing. So that's the textbook conversation. But when it comes to BFSI, it primarily talks about how do we compress the time between the data, decision, implementation. For BFSI, that's what agility and digital first model in the essence is. after 2020, before 2020, we were a very different industry. After 2020, the volatility sets in, and three major pressures which any BFSI sector would be facing is margin compression, customer demands. I think with the entire digital boom which has happened in the last 5 years, 6 years, the expectation from customer is to next level. And a heightened risk oversight. You know, while risk was always an essential backbone for BFSI, but now it is more than ever before. So the entire digitization part and the agility part, it helped us because traditionally BFSI, and I'm sure all of you who are currently trying to prepare in your MBAs for finance and industry, for sales, it means acquisition. You go out in the market, acquire, come back. IT, it means maybe just deploying. Ye change aaya, let's just go ahead and deploy it. For product, it is just make a product and go about it. But the current age, and by the time you guys graduate, you will be an IT professional who will actually be responsible for sales. And you will be a sales professional who will actually be doing tech implementation. Because who would have thought that the entire sales model has actually moved on digital, with organizations in their balance sheets, reporting around 90-95% digital sourcing. So your CIO technically becomes your chief sales officer. And your chief sales officer, talking about API-led partnerships, becomes technically a tech officer. So that is the kind of transition which has happened in the industry. Coming to data, so while I'm sure you have a lot of analytics students in the room as well, analytics erstwhile used to be like you're driving a car and you're looking in the rear view mirror and trying to see that what all has happened and then reporting it out. So we're in dashboards, MISs, other things. But after 2020, what has happened with the entire digital boom, what has happened is that it has become infrastructure. Now you can actually predict the customer behavior. Like we would always know who of you would buy a Zara and who of you would buy a Forever New or a Marks and Spencer or whatever brand. And then there will be targeted, just to add to what Ankur said on the hyper-personalization bit, there will be targeted campaigns around it. So it is no longer about what brand deal you can get, it is about what does your customer want. So the entire decision making has moved away from what we can do to what customer wants, because if the organization doesn't it, somebody in the market is doing it. And the third aspect of the entire thing is, for the choice of a better word, a fintech fallacy. Everybody wants to be a fintech, everybody wants to aspire like a fintech, be as agile and digital. So BFSI at large, the traditional firms cannot fall to that particular fallacy because they do not have the opportunity to falter in a highly regulated environment. So there are certain processes, policies, regulations which come in play which do not allow you to do an MVP route for anything and everything. There will have to be proper testing. There will have to be a proper data infrastructure and still launch well in time. And lastly, the leadership. While all of you in the room would want to aspire to be leaders, gone are the days when a sales officer was managing sales and a tech officer was managing platforms. I think it is so intertwined right now that the integrated leadership is the only way forward. So yeah, Dr. Ruby, coming back to the digital first and the accountability part of it, I think this is the reality of today's corporate, and that's how the transition has been seen.
Totally agreed, Ms. Kriti. We have to take the accountability. Volatile is something that we have to live with now. Volatility is something that is going to stay for a very, very long time. At least that's how it looks like. My next question is to Mr. Ramandeep. What role do you think data analytics, AI, and advanced modeling play in improving risk management, credit assessment, fraud detection, and decision making in BFSI?
Hello. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Bhatia. Good afternoon, everyone. You all are very much awake. It's very difficult to, keep the audience awake after the lunch session. So thankfully, the lunch is not done yet. So, okay. So let's start with a very simple question. How many of you have done digital payment today? Many of you. And how many of you believe that bank will simply trust you and let you complete the transaction? Okay. So that's the reality. The reality is behind every instant approval, or any one-click payment, there are thousands of data points which have been evaluated. So this is the power of AI, data analytics, and API models nowadays. Let's start with with the history, with past. So in lending industry, 15 years, 20 years back, how the lending used to be happen. So there were no resources, there were no APIs, there were no intelligence, all human workflow. Like Ankur said very well, 15, 20 years back, a salesperson used to go to customer, have to do a hefty documentation part, all KYCs, application form, photograph pasting, financials, bank statements, everything was on paper. Now, what has changed? Now your document collection is automated. There are aggregators. With one OTP, your bank statements can be directly collected by bank. With one OTP, your financials can be directly collected by bank. Now the decisions are being automated. Now there are basically scorecard models, which decisions where your case is decided in seconds. So coming to the risk part of it, how it helped it, in risk. Traditionally risk used to analyze delinquencies when after it occurred. But now, given the AI in place, risk is able to analyze early warning signals. They are able to predict which kind of customers are going to default in future. So this is the change, AI and the kind of change AI and the models have done in the lending industry. So risk used to be a reactive control, but now it's proactive protection. So this is with the help of AI and automation, the risk has been changed. The change has been done in the risk. Coming to the credit part of it, previously credit underwriter used to read file and give his decision. The decision was very subjective, depending on the documents. Nowadays, the decision is real time. It's backed by data. It's aligned with your portfolio. So it's aligned with the analysis, what kind of customers are behaving how in your current portfolio. So definitely it has dramatically changed the TAT of processing the loan. Previously, the credit used to approve a loan in a 10 days or 12 days of time. Now it has been done in a day's time. For unsecured loan, it done in 3 or 4 hours. For secured loan, it's getting done in 2 to 3 days. So that's the kind of change AI and automation has brought into picture. Talking about, so in credit only, let's say, for example, 2 customers have a CIBIL score of 750. But their behavioral analytics, tells the difference between those 2 customers. It tells the difference, different pattern of their cash flows. So you are able to differentiate the customers who look same on the documents, but might be not same actually. So this is what AI is doing in lending industry. Now coming to the fraud part, fraud detection, you said, right?
Fraud detection.
Fraud detection. So earlier the fraud was only identity fraud, identity manipulation, or fake documents. Now there are multiple type of frauds, there are synthetic identities, transaction layerings, mule accounts. So with AI developed anomaly detection models are able to find the patterns which human cannot. So let's say, for example, if a person is applying a loan from a same mobile phone multiple times with a slightly change in the identity, your system will raise a red flag. So that's kind of which was not able, which is not any human can detect. So that kind of systems and the I will say the kind of security we have nowadays. Now the last point was decision making, right?
Decision making. in
Decision making.
BFSI.
Yeah, so previously the decision making was very subjective and time taking. Now the decision making has changed. Now AI decision your case within seconds. Now AI decision your case within seconds. Your queries, your risk are identified in seconds. So this is the kind of change helped in the decision making. So I would say, previously we are in a time where loan approvals are done in seconds. That used to take days. Payments were used to move in cycles are now done in with one click. So behind this simplicity lies something very powerful, which is AI, data, analytics, risk engines, and governance framework. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramandeep. My next question is to Mr. Manav. This is an extension of what I just asked Mr. Ramandeep, is about cyber security. How can BFSI institutions strengthen cyber security frameworks to protect customer data and ensure trust on which the banks lay foundation in an increasingly digital financial ecosystem?
Okay. So, good afternoon, everybody. I know everybody must be a little tired, and excuse me for my bad throat. So, first of all, Ruby, there are a couple of things which I just wanted to come across and put across is the way you introduced all of us, right? So you've summed up the entire financial market in in about 2 minutes of starting from the loans to the head, to the floor on the head and everything of that sort. So that is one thing which is there. So we all were talking about AI. Ankura also spoke, Kriti also spoke about it. I can only tell you that, data is something which is very, very important as of now. So there used to be a time when we used to say ki, any country which is having a lot of gold is the richest country. And then, gold was done away with oil. So then we used to say, जिस भी country के पास oil ज़्यादा है वो सबसे अमीर country है, right? But today it is all about data. So any country which is having a lot of data is the king. So any company who is having a lot of data is the king. So there are a lot of fintech companies who just to get the data, just to get the consumer behavior, give a lot of cashbacks, give a lot of things just to, get that consumer behavior into the picture. So, protecting data, I think, is the most important thing of any financial company as of now. And we all are working towards doing that. So all this digitization, all these, loans happening in hours is only because of our data protection. I feel that today we have moved leaps and bounds in this. So if you'll ask me 20 years back when my father was doing banking, he used to go to the branch and, get the passbook printed. So the data privacy was not there. Everybody, somebody sending an office clerk to get a passbook printed. But today you cannot get a bank statement if you don't have the authority letter. So there are a lot of checks which has been put in place. There in my company, I couldn't tell you that there's a lot of things which are happening that you can't log in from a different system because again the data privacy is there. So all these kind of things, level authentications like your OTPs, your grids, which is happening. So this is all about the data protection, and probably that's the main job of any company today because a company is as rich as its data. So, and trust, undoubtedly your second part of the equation, which is all about trust. So trust also builds with this data handling. The more comfortable you're handling data, the better way you're handling the data. The trust of the customer builds in. So if there are a lot of frauds happening for some company, if there is something of that sort happening, so the trust level goes down. So, we have to always up our game on data protection. And that is one part which is very much there. And there are a lot of softwares which we keep putting in place just for data protection. So that's what my answer to your question is as of.
Thank you, Mr. Manav. I'm sure, we all are very, very concerned about the data privacy, and you answered it really well and gives us a lot of assurance to put our money in banks. My next question is Mr. Debashish. Mr. Debashish, what do you think are the strategies required to build a future-ready BFSI workforce addressing skill transformation, automation-led role changes, and leadership readiness?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So I will be very practically, I'll be telling you how AI is means approaching you from the beginning of your career. Okay. So I hope the students here are from IT, from finance, from HR. So whenever, after you pass out from this organization, whenever you are applying for any of the organizations, okay, so what will happen? The thing is that time whenever you are applying for a position, that time also AI will come to the picture. If in your CV, for example, you are not having any certifications for AI, or I can say from data analytics certification, that time the shortlisting will not happen because there is no human intervention. Like lot of big organizations they are putting ATS, okay, applicant tracking system. That time what will happen? Might be you have secured 95%, but still then you will think that how I got rejected. Okay, yeah. So my first input to the students is get some certifications like at the beginner level, whether it is AI certifications, data analytics certifications. Lot of you can get it from Coursera, you can get it from Udemy. Apart from that, I will say that so whenever you are doing your education, that time, if you are focusing on the BFSI, so I will be saying is that go for internship, work with some of the projects, AI projects, or because time has changed. Now I can say that now it's purely the data, digital enablement, and third is automation. So the thing is that if once we onboarded, like we have passes the rounds and we are inside the organization, so the thing what will happen is that, like I can say that if you are having expertise in you can be the finance guy, but you should be having a technical expertise. You need to, because the banks today are like they are looking for the people who are having hybrid knowledge, like fintech, or it can be HR tech. It can be so everywhere the technology is playing a crucial role. So the thing is that from now onwards, for the next 5 years, we should be ready whenever we are applying for any position. So after that, whenever we are working for any of the jobs, so it will be something different type of jobs. It will be like it can be like AI digital officer. It can be like fintech strategic manager to build the products which can disburse the loans in 10 minutes. So this type of approach, the company are looking for the new candidates, and I hope we should be focusing. We should not be hiding that AI will be killing the jobs. No, it will help us. So we can analyze that, and like Anthropic. So the thing is that no need to learn the code and all the things, but you have to you can know different types of I can say that applications are coming, like as of now we are in Anthropic stage. So earlier it was DeepSeek. So the thing is that you should be understanding the LLM. LLM is what? It's totally a brain. And after that you can pick up the agents, and agents can, for example, I want to analyze a risk report. So you are always there to guide the LLM. Then LLM will search the agents, and from that agents, whether it will be calculation, whether it is a search, and it will giving a response. It can be code, it can be the output. So yes, from the very beginning we should be with AI, data analytics, and this will be helping you guys to secure your future in the BFSI sector.
Thank you very much, Mr. Debashish. That gives us an insight. Yes, Mr. Ankur, sure.
Just a minute. I think what Devashish said is absolutely right. For me, it's the word relevant. So 20 years back when we passed out from colleges, there were different traits which made us relevant for this industry. Today, when you are passing out, you have to be relevant. And to be relevant, you have to be ahead of that curve. As he rightly said, that you need to do certain certifications, you need to do certain courses which are there on various platforms. Apart from that, you should also understand that how you need to analyze and look at the market. For example, if you want to be at a leadership position or in the front running sales position, or for that matter, any job, you should understand that how you have to dissect the data and use the AI tools to help you in terms of closing that deal. So most of my things are from sales perspective, but जैसे आप HR में होंगे तो इंटरव्यू के बाद उसको कैसे क्लोज करना है, आप सप्लाई चेन में होंगे तो how you can reduce the timelines in certain things, that's what you can define. So it's all about being relevant in that industry wherever you are going, at whatever position you are going. So that's something which I wanted to add.
Very apt. Mr. Satyarth, I have a question for you. In what ways can AI, automation, and machine learning enhance operational efficiency, personalize customer experiences, and improve financial inclusion?
Sure. Thank you for that question. And in fact, most of the response to that question has already been covered by my fellow panelists. So I'll just reiterate some of those points. So Mr. Ankur started the panel discussion with the word digital infrastructure. So I'm in an organization which specializes in building digital public infrastructure. So when I say digital public infrastructure, it is population scale, citizen-centric infrastructure, digital infrastructure. So, and most of my panelists, like Ramandeep, he pointed out the point that these days loans and a lot of activities, verification and all those are highly automated. So I'm fortunate to say that my organization is providing API-based verification services as well. A bit swaying away from the BFSI sector, we have. I'll just give an example of that my organization has built a national agri stack wherein we are helping farmers of India to understand the crop pattern, the weather pattern, and of course the basic technology behind that is AI. It's automation. So now coming back to the BFSI sector or the customer, I mean, how a customer could be, I mean, how to improvise on customer satisfaction. There are a lot of, so in earlier days, what used to happen was that there was a lot of manual work, which was mostly reactive in nature. Manual is always reactive. So with the coming in of AI and automation tools, those activities are now proactive. The tools, like as my fellow panelists have already pointed out, the tools can predict the spending pattern of a person. The tools can predict the risk pattern of an individual. So first point. That these tools help the organizations at large to understand the pattern of the individual spending pattern, their behavioral aspect, basis which sales pitches could be made. As Mr. Ankur pointed out that in earlier days, I mean, salesperson used to carry forms and all those. So, sir, I'm leading the sales function in my team, and that too the government business function. So I know that now we use a lot of these basic AI tools like Copilot, Gemini, OpenAI, all these to prepare sales pitches. We first understand what the customer needs basis these automation tools, and then go and speak to the customer. So definitely organizational efficiency has increased. It has kind of toned down or streamlined my work. It has the TAT has increased. I mean it has so I mean, just to sum it up, AI. Very recently, we have seen AI summit being organized by India, and it was a very I mean, controversy or no controversy. It was a successful event. We got a lot of foreign dignitaries, CEOs of a lot of organizations investing in India, doing a lot of research activities, promoting a lot of research activities in India. So, in general, whenever I meet people or the customers or the government officials and all, so AI is a buzzword these days. And there is a lot of apprehension also that the students passing out of the colleges may not get jobs because of AI, or people like us may lose jobs because of AI. I don't kind of agree to those statements, because AI is an enabler. It's not a showstopper. I don't treat it as a showstopper. It's an enabler, like phones. I mean, I'm sure we all are from a generation which moved from non-tech to tech. We didn't have phones, then we had landlines, and now we have smartphones. So it's an enabler. We are all carrying smartphones. It has kind of eased out our day-to-day activities, our professional activities. So that's how efficiency has increased, and so that would be my response to your question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Satyarth. And now my question is to Mr. Naveen Tiwari. Although this question I start with you, but I'll open the question. I mean, this question will be for all of you after Mr. Naveen answers this, because that is something relevant for the very much relevant for the students here. We have room full of management students who will enter workforce in the next 1 or 2 years. Given how digital transformations are reshaping the BFSI, what are the career opportunities for the students in this sector by 2030? And what are the skills that will genuinely be differentiators? Although partly it has been answered by Mr. Ankur and Mr. Debashish, but I'd like to have views from all of you here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you. Thank you for asking this a very relevant and important question. I think this is very, very important for the audience that is, waiting. And this is something which we all are learning. We are, going to our colleges. So, BFSI as an industry, if you see, it is one of the largest employment generating industry, right? As per BSG Research 2025, 25 lakh employees are on the payrolls of different BFSI companies. 3 times of that are indirectly related to working for BFSI companies. And the magic is that double of that or equal to that are working as self-employed professionals or are working for professionals or enterprises which are indirectly supporting BFSI industry. So it is one of the most employment generating industry. So good. And the best part of it that it is growing by 10%. By an estimate of World Economic Forum, 2.5 lakh to 3 lakh jobs will be created in BFSI on payrolls. 10% will be on indirect payrolls. And on an organized sector, it will be triple. So you can, understand the opportunities that you have. There are humongous opportunities in BFSI, because BFSI, if you see, as my co-panelist has discussed, when we start from our home to our destination, everywhere you see banking and financial, you have to deal with them in our all day-to-day things. So it is the backbone of our economy also. But still, having said that, our banking penetration is only 60%. Getting me? We have our colleagues from mutual funds. A country of 150 crore people. How much penetration is for capital market, demat accounts? Can anybody guess here? सब आजकल वो चलाते हैं, grow and all, But what is the penetration percentage of demat account? 9% only. 9%. So the scope is huge. We have 50 crore Jan Dhan account we opened. But how many of them are active? Sir, is in agreement, he deals directly into this segment. Only 9% of that are active. So the opportunity is huge. And see, our credit growth to GDP is only 60 to 70%. Whereas in developed economy, it is 120 to 150%. So when I am saying credit percentage to GDP, means 4 trillion economy, what is my credit? How much loans we give? It is only 60 to 70%. So the scope is huge. So jobs are here. Now what skill sets are required? It has been deliberated a lot. I was, listening to the first session also. They also said these things. My co-panelist also has spoken about it. So I will deliberate a little bit or in detail about the skill sets that will be required. So one is core competency. If you are a banker, if you are into financial service or insurance industry, first thing is that you should know in detail, in depth knowledge about your product. So if you want to be a banker, you must have that banking knowledge, core banking. But gone are those days that only, as ma'am says, that only your core competency will get you a job. It may give you a job, but it will not give you a growth. Management philosophy says getting success and winning success is different. Agree? Everybody sitting in this room will get success, and I am 100% sure, 200% sure about it. But winning success is within a timeline. 10 years, 20 years, you find a job, you find your lifestyle. It's not success. It's just getting success. You win success if you get it in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So the tech enables you to get this in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Technology helps you. See, this is not an era when a 40-year guy will lead and a 30-year, 25-year, 20-year guy will be part of the team. Today, a 25-year youngster coming out of school, graduation, management grad is leading huge conglomerates. There are senior leadership roles waiting for you if you are ready. Most of the industries still have dearth of skilled people. We have a lot of people looking for jobs, but they don't have the right skill set. So what kind of right skills are required? One, core competency, then core competency with technology. People who will get job, those who know how to use technology, right? So I have noted down some points, so I will just take. So handling GAI agents. So you are talking about chatbots, AI agents. People are talking about GAI agents now, right? We are in an era when we are talking about artificial intelligence. But people somewhere who thinks about 10 year, 20 year down the line, they are thinking about general artificial intelligence. Someone who can lead tech. Chatbots can do a job of a desk job, can replace a clerk. But it cannot lead a branch manager, replace a branch manager. Because ChatGPT or an AI agent will do whatever you give him prompt. But the differentiation in a leader is that he takes a decision. So people who will have analytical skills, decision-making skills, will have the edge. They will not be replaced. They will lead and manage those people who do not have these skills, right? Then people who can implement technology. Then people who can remotely function. Somebody says agri-tech. That is the next future, and that is going to be the revolution in Indian industry. The next growth is coming from rural Bharat. You know, banks and financial industries has started hiring directors and board members from industry leaders who has been in rural India and who has been driving growth in rural industries. Google it. Recently, a big bank has hired someone from tractor finance company to lead a bank. You need to think in that way. Then we need cybersecurity experts. You have huge data. Data is flowing everywhere. So we need people who can understand this data, who can, analyze this, mine this, who can sort out this data, and who can distribute this data and convert it into real business. So we need such people. And there is a saying that, so you see an incident today, big news, that Israel has attacked Iran. Okay? This may be a beginning of something. But somebody 50 years ago says the third world war will be for oil, and fourth world war will be for data. So data is that much important. So people who can learn the skill set required to manage data will be the leaders of next decade and so on. I'll take 2-3 more. So I said one skill set. So these are the technical skill sets that are required, and one part is important. So technical proficiency, core competency is one thing. Then BFSI is a segment which caters to, direct customer engagement. You have to engage with your customer. You have to go pitch, or the customer walks into your offices. So the interpersonal skills play a very, very important role in BFSI industry. If you want to work and you aspire to be a leader in BFSI industry, you need to have good interpersonal skills. Grooming is one part. You have to be well groomed. You have to be well versed in communication skills. Then 2-3 things. You have to be patient. In earlier session, one gentleman said that you have to give 10 years. I agree. You have to be patient with your skill set and with your journey with the organizations. And you have to be fast learner, because you are dealing with technology. And technology is fast changing. It's very, very dynamic. You have to be fast learner, adaptable and flexible. You cannot say that I am a master of so and so skill. I read balance sheets very well, I read so and so, but I don't know this, I will not do that. So you are not fit for this. You have to be adaptable. You have to learn. Then if you are into BFSI or in anything, because data is there, you are being monitored everywhere. You are being watched everywhere. Your data is flowing everywhere. Let me share you one thing. See, I came here, but I did not share my credentials with the institute. They picked it up from, some social media, right? Even my photograph was there. So it is picked. I have not shared anything. So this is the power of data and technology today. But it did not, there is no harm in doing it. It helps me only. I have to search all these things and share them. Somebody has to pick and paste all that. But they did all. So the same thing is about bank. If we hire someone, we see his background also. We do background verifications. We do civil search also. What is his credit score? How has been his with banking? How has been his credit journey? How he has been in social media interaction. So don't put anything on social media. Don't put fights on social media because it is being watched. You have to be very, very careful about it. One very important aspect of BFSI or customer-centric job, you have to be good in networking skills. If you are in a gathering, you must know how to network, how to make relationships. Then only you can use effectively and get, convert this into a business. BFSI also says about ownership. You have to own because it is a target oriented roles. Most of the roles are. So you have to own them. You have to own the responsibilities and you have to go extra mile. Then only you can become leaders in BFSI. And somebody rightly said, handling volatility. So volatility also, because this is volatile, technology-driven industry, so there will be ups and downs. So you must be, know the skills to handle volatility also. I think I took a lot of time, but one more thing.
There were some great insights, sir, and I'm sure the students have understood how important it is to be how important is it to understand the product where you are, how important is it to be resilient, relevant, and how to use data appropriately and mindfully. Because this is something that, one has to be very, very cautious going forward as to, how much to put on social media, what not to put. So due to time paucity, I'm afraid that I will not be able to carry on with number of other questions that I had, but it was a very insightful discussion, I must say, and I'm thankful to each and every panelist sitting here for sharing, the practical insights of the BFSI industry. And I'm sure the students will be benefited by each and every input that has come from this stage today. Thank you very much once again to each one of you for taking out time.